Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will take up the mechanism of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is an oxidation reduction process in which water is oxidized and carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrate level, oxygen and water being the byproducts. And when we will see the overall process of photosynthesis, it is an oxidation reduction process which involves the oxidation of water, and the result of the oxidation of water, that is photolysis of water, that is the evolution of oxygen, and reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate level. And here carbohydrate, it is reduced, carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrate, and water is oxidized and it produces oxygen. And one more thing, that water is also the byproduct, and water is a reactant as well as we will not say it a product but a byproduct, because here the product we consider as the carbohydrate. The oxidation of organic compounds releases stored energy which is utilized by the organisms for various metabolic processes. As we have seen while studying the importance of photosynthesis, it is the only process, only source of energy for all living organisms. And this oxidation, the oxidation of organic compounds, release stored energy which is utilized by the organisms for various metabolic processes. Now let us see this reaction once again. 6 times carbon dioxide reacts with 12 times water in the presence of light and chlorophyll to produce C6H12O6 plus 6 times oxygen plus 6 times water. The mechanism of photosynthesis and how photosynthesis takes place, how actually this photosynthesis is carried out. It was worked out by Robert Hill and Blackman in 1937. According to them, the overall process of photosynthesis is the reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. And the main aim of photosynthesis is to reduce carbon dioxide to carbohydrates, is to produce carbohydrates, and these are produced by the reduction of carbon dioxide. But the reduction of carbohydrates, carbon dioxide to carbohydrate level needs assimilatory powers such as ATP and NADPH. The reduction of carbon dioxide occurs in dark, but the production of assimilatory powers is light dependent. Thus we can say the main ultimate aim of photosynthesis is the production of carbohydrates which are produced by the reduction of carbon dioxide. But for the reduction of carbon dioxide we need certain assimilatory powers such as ATP and NADPH. But these ATP and NADPH, they can be produced only in the presence of light. They depend on light, though carbon dioxide reduction takes place during night. But the assimilatory powers which actually help in reducing carbon dioxide to carbohydrates, they are light dependent. So accordingly we can say that photosynthesis process consists of 2 phases. And photosynthesis is completed in 2 phases, that is light phase and dark phase. And in one part of the this photosynthesis, it takes place during light, in the presence of light, and another part takes place during dark, that is called dark phase. Now we will take the first phase, that is light phase or light reaction. This light reaction, this is also known as photochemical reaction. This is also known as Hill's reaction because it was worked out by Hill, and it takes place in the presence of light. That's why we call it a light reaction. And it takes place this is a chemical reaction which takes place with the help of light. That is called why we called it as photochemical reaction. The reaction, that is photochemical reaction, takes place in the grana or thylakoids of the chloroplast in the presence of light. We have also studied the site of photosynthesis, that is chloroplast. Chloroplast में यम अहम चीज, that is thylakoid या stroma and stroma. Grana, thylakoid and stroma. The pile of thylakoids is called a granum. These are the 2 important parts. This grana or thylakoid is the site of light reaction which takes place in the presence of light, which is light dependent. And another phase, that is dark phase, it is light independent, which takes place in the stroma. First we will discuss this light phase. This light phase, which takes place in the grana of the chloroplast in the presence of light, it involves following steps. First step is photoexcitation of chlorophyll molecules, or we also call it absorption of light by the chlorophyll molecules. Number second is evaluation of carbon dioxide, oxygen from water, or photolysis of water and evaluation of oxygen. And the first step is absorption of light by chlorophyll molecules. Due to this absorption of light, these chlorophyll molecules, they excite, what we call as photoexcitation of chlorophyll molecules. Number second is photolysis of water. When photolysis of water takes place, it brings about the evaluation of oxygen. Number third step is electron transport chain, or reduction of NADP. What happens when excitation of chlorophyll molecules takes place, an electron is released. That electron passes through a number of electron carriers, forming an electron transport chain or system. That is called electron transport system, or reduction of NADPH. Even it forms it takes place in the form of a Z, and is English alphabet Z. That is why we also call it as Z scheme. And this reduction of NADPH or electron transport, this involves two processes, that is cyclic electron transport and non-cyclic electron transport, and ultimately the last step, that is photophosphorylation. During the cyclic and non-cyclic electron transport, at certain places an amount of energy is released. At every step energy is released, but at certain points such an amount of energy is released which helps in converting ADP into ATP, adenosine diphosphate into adenosine triphosphate. That is called a phosphorylation. It is formation of ATP. It takes place in the presence of light, so that's why it is called photophosphorylation. This photophosphorylation, like electron transport, this is also of two types, that is cyclic electron transport, cyclic photophosphorylation, and non-cyclic electron transport. We will discuss these steps in the next class. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.